We got to know he actually had a family and he was quite a family guy, and hello and welcome back with another character Datafile. Today we're going to talk about Degra from Star Trek Enterprise. Degra is a Xindi Primate Scientist who was primarily the designer of the Xindi weapon. We first seen this weapon in the Season 2, in the end of Season 2, when this weapon just appeared next to Earth and it really made a scar in the surface. As Degra was a scientist who was working on this weapon, he was also the member of the Council with the 5 different Xindi species. When the Enterprise entered the Delphic Expanse, he was the only member of the Council that actually was against to attack the ship, because an attack like that would reveal the Xindi and their presence in the Delphic Expanse, and that would have jeopardized the whole project on the weapon. It took years to Degra to developing and working on this weapon that initially started out as a bioweapon. Unfortunately, they didn't really have that much information about humans, so the reptilians brought in Raj into the picture. She was actually able to scan everyone by just touching them and collecting data and transmitting everything to the Xindi Council and Degra to actually help developing a bioweapon. Apart from the biometric data, they needed quite a few ingredients to this bioweapon, and they needed chemosite as well. Later on, Degra conducted a couple of tests in the Kalindra system that didn't really meet the expectations, and the Xindi Council members were actually quite disappointed. And on top of that, Archer happened to actually capture Degra, and they actually managed to trick him to reveal where they actually built the big weapon, the biggest weapon that they planned to destroy Earth with. After revealing where they're building the weapons, Degra wasn't really happy because he found out he'd been tricked, and he had a couple of really interesting and harsh words to Jonathan Archer. That was a really interesting setup, because in that case we got to know a lot about Degra and his character. He was quite a family guy.
Your heartbeat is weird.
No, not that one. Although with the fake story and the full setup, he led to believe, and he immersely started to believe it was a mistake destroying all these people and destroying Earth, and he felt really guilty doing these things. When he returned to his project to further developing the weapon, this guilt still remained with him, and basically he started to question himself and question the nature of the whole project. Later on, at one point, Archer being captured by the reptilians, and the only person who he wanted to talk with is Degra. Well, he was actually able to not to convince, but to enlighten Degra. He and the Xindi members being manipulated by the Sphere Builders. The Sphere Builders were this trans-dimensional race that they try to occupy the normal space by building spheres and transferring the space around them, so that was basically the Delphic Expanse. The interesting turnover between these two characters was when actually Degra started to trust Archer, and he believed everything that Archer said in terms of, you know, the Sphere Builders and why they manipulating actually the Xindi. So Degra went so far trusting Archer, he actually helped destroying even a reptilian ship that was against and that was attacking the Enterprise. Later, with Degra's support, Archer was able to convince the Xindi Council to actually stop the attack towards Earth, although the only fraction was the reptilians who still had this fake belief and they still wanted to go against the humans. So Dolin, one of the member of the Xindi reptilian species, he actually killed Degra. Degra was played by Randy Oglesby, and he was kind of the J. Robert Oppenheimer of the Star Trek franchise. Oppenheimer was one of the developer of the atomic bomb in human history, and with Degra the writers really wanted to have a character who developing a weapon to protect his own species, but he felt guilty destroying another one. Randy Oglesby played this character very well. You could actually feel Degra was a scientist, but he wasn't the one who actually was ready for mass murder. This was always the case in human history. We developed so many weapons and we developed so many technology, but developing a technology in the wrong hands, it can turn into a weapon of mass destruction. And that was one of the aspects on Degra's character that we got to see in Star Trek Enterprise. Personally, I think Degra was an interesting character in the course of the series, and we really got to see this transition from the beginning of his character till his death. So from when he had this solid belief on protecting his race, till the end when he actually realized what they're doing is wrong. I think that was one of the reasons why I really liked his character in Enterprise, and actually he was a really needed character in the series. His character appeared in 10 episodes in total in season 3, and we had 3 other episodes that actually he been mentioned. And I think if I would have to name one episode that can give a lot of background story and a lot of depth into his character, is the episode Stratagem. And that was a really interesting episode, and we got to see this slight subtle transformation on his belief, and he actually started to trust Archer until the final moment when he realized he'd been tricked. So that was my short little character data file about Degra from Star Trek Enterprise. Please let me know in the comment section below what did you think about the character, and please let me know in the comment section below what was your favorite or least favorite moment with this character. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness every week. And until next time, live long and prosper.